Hello, you all out there.
With a 13-year-old.
First of all, I'd like to say good morning, good
Now,
afternoon, good
James
evening
seen
to
a
all of my
man
many
in the
friends,
garbage
also to
can
my many
dead,
enemies.
and Lamont found, and
And
Martin
today,
found one
I am
dead in the
live,
garbage can.
um,
Found the girl dead in the
going to
garbage
be a
can
guest on the
in the
Cats
alley.
Out show
Dead, laying there dead.
with Vera Giles Norris. And this is the Cats Out show. I'm going to be a guest on today. And we're going to be discussing what we picked up on yesterday and why our girls in the
So
city of
yeah,
Chicago and just people are coming up missing, coming up dead, or whatever. But of course, in the midst of it all, we do have some good news. So we are going to be sharing it today on the show. So we're about to get started in a couple of more minutes. So we're just having a little bit of talk and a conversation.
it is.
And I'm going to let you see what's going on because I'm live at the studio.
Hi, everybody. It's the Cats Out Show. I am your girl, Vera Giles Norris, and I'm so excited to be here today to share some great information and also help bring about awareness on our missing young ladies here in Chicago. We have to do something, and we got to do something now. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in to Roosevelt's amazing platform. Again, I am Vera Giles Norris on Intellectual Radio, iHeartRadio, and we on YouTube Live many a
Many
times.
times.
All right, thanks Roosevelt for being here today.
No problem
I'm
with
doing my
that.
backstage makeup, so take me off camera.
You're looking good though. Okay, so she's doing makeup. We got our engineer over there, Mr. Earl. And Mr. Earl, say hello to my not Facebook, what am I saying? YouTube audience. For Roosevelt Sounds Off, that's our yeah, that's the engineer for today. And yes, so we are here. We're about to get started like in a couple of more minutes or so.
Yeah,
As soon as she does her backstage makeup and everything. So hopefully a couple of more people could come in and tell everybody to tune in. But in the meantime, I need to also share this with my Facebook audience before I forget, because I will forget. Come on, anytime you share this stuff, it always comes up so slowly. You know how all of this stuff goes. The Cats Out show is K or C?
KATS. Yes, baby. Did you eat your sausage McMuffin?
Don't you want the remote control to the TV?
Huh?
Don't you want the remote control to the TV out there?
Do they want the remote control to the TV? You got the remote control to the TV?
She getting taller. Last time I saw she was just taller.
You know your kids are quiet, right, Vera? Okay, I've shared that with my Facebook audience. I'm also gonna, before we get started, share this video with Twitter. Oh, it's coming up so.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front door.
When he come on?
Yeah, so we're about to get started. Let me let y'all see a couple of things that's happening backstage before we get started.
You look at the iHost page? Yeah, he's done 3 shows so far.
Shut the hell up. I gotta beat that mother. What?
You can't come down here for that.
Hey, how the hell you gonna tell me what I can come down
Ain't
here
gonna be
and
no
do?
fans just coming down
I'm
here.
not no
talking.
goddamn fan. I'm a host.
We got 80 hosts. 80 hosts.
I don't
can't
care.
come down here,
I don't
so.
care. I don't care nothing about that. Nothing about that. I'm coming in here.
Go to the, I know you're not coming in here.
Wait a minute, let me finish this. Me put this up there. I am coming my ass up in here. You're not gonna tell me I can't come up in here.
You can't come in here for your
Shut
show.
up. I'm gonna come in here.
No, you're
I'm not trying to be no damn fan.
You ain't coming up in here doing this show.
You let somebody come in here on mine. I bet you bet nobody ever come in here on my show or I'm snapping.
Fine. I ain't had this $7 with a woman since you left.
You know Sharon, don't you?
What's Sharon?
Sharon Chester.
Yeah, Shireen, yeah.
Sharon, that was like one of my best friends years ago.
Yeah, Mark McGuire has a show tonight.
That's some damn Mark McGuire. Like he got a damn show.
You know.
No, I ain't know.
Then you'll see some backstage stuff that we're doing before we get started.
But I know one
Hopefully
thing.
y'all
the
come
cat's
in.
Gonna meet the, what's the name of the show?
The Cats Out Show.
Right. Ain't no other greater show. Say it.
There is no other
No, tell
greater
Earl
show.
to say it.
No, Earl, say there's no other greater show but the Cats Out
Hey,
Show.
Stop putting that camera on me. Tell him you don't know I don't do that.
Oh, he don't do that one.
You don't do that one.
Oh, he don't like that.
That's good footage. Earl don't do that. Earl don't put Earl on camera. It's the Cats Out Show with missing girls in Chicago. What's really going on? Call in to the station. We need to hear from you. And let me put the phone number 708 223 708 223.
Okay, so you've seen a couple of
8953.
backstage stuff that we're doing. We're about to get started in a couple of minutes or so.
Let me
Thank everybody for tuning in. Good morning to everybody. Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Roosevelt Sounds Off Live Podcast. Yes.
Let me bring it in automatically.
It's the Roosevelt Sounds Off Live Podcast right here on YouTube. And today I'm coming live as a guest on the Cats Out Show with Mrs. Vera Giles Norris. Yes, we're discussing our missing girls here in the city of Chicago.
Powerful.
So we're about to get started in a few minutes. So I'll turn the camera around.
You say, and you even got all these basketball players. They tell them who gonna come up in here. Who showed before that on the Tuesday?
You know what? You can't do it. You can't.
I'm gonna change my platform. What's before? I need another show anyway. No, Earl, don't get excited. No, don't get don't get bougie.
The reason why people like this place is because they come in here and deal with a whole bunch of people.
I'm not no whole bunch of people.
Mom Russia.
You think I'm the celebrity? You act like he the celebrity. You won't even realize it.
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
are a
telling
celebrity.
people- Yeah. I forgot. This man recording. Let me. Yeah. Earl, I'm gonna have to talk to you. You know what? It may seem like it, but I really haven't paid a lot of stuff any attention in the last 3.5 weeks, really. But you say, how long you say he been on here? 3 shows. So yeah, I haven't been paying a lot of stuff that much attention. At all.
So she's still working on her backstage.
Get the camera off me. I'm doing mine.
She's still doing her backstage makeup. I keep telling her that she don't need no backstage makeup. She's already pretty enough already as it is. Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna get started. But I'm gonna share some good news before we do get started. Now, last time some of you all who watched the live podcast from last night, when we were live on 63rd and Damon on the southwest side of Chicago, noticed that we were looking for a missing 13-year-old girl. And good news. And glory to God that she was found safe and that she was found, alive and well. And that's thanks to all of us coming out, getting with the family and, passing out flyers. And using our platforms through Facebook Live, through YouTube Live, or whatever, and they happened to find her, and that was a good thing. So I'm glad about that. I am very glad about that. That we're using this social media platform as a way to promote love and also to promote positivity, and use it to not just talk about like fund our own agendas, but also to help people. And that's exactly what we did. And I am so glad about it. So we're about to get started in a couple of more minutes, you said?
We can ready to get started right now.
Okay, so about to get started now. So let me turn this camera around so she can do her greeting. And once again, we're coming live from the Cats Out Show with Vera Giles Norris.
Or you can get our music ready because I'm actually getting ready to get started. Martin G. Johnson. You forgot our music probably is
Probably you know who Mark McGuire is.
yeah, I know who he is. I know who he is. I mean, it's not very many basketball names I know, but that's a
In my
name.
opinion, he changed the whole basketball
Yeah.
game.
Do you know how powerful that is?
Nobody know who Mark McGuire. Nobody know who DePaul was or Ray Meyer.
I still don't know who they is. I know Mark Aguirre. What? I wouldn't know him if I seen him. You know, I'm not no fan like that. I'm not no fan to many people like that, but I know his name and I know he a powerful force. Like I know, you know, Scottie Pippen and I know some people, but I'm not.
You're the only ones I'm familiar with from back in the day. Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Luke Longley. Them the only ones I'm familiar with.
Y'all, we about to get this party started. It's the Cats. We on here today. Today's gonna be a real touchy show. Did I put the phone number up? Let me put the phone number up. Hold on. Let me put the phone number up. Is the phone ringing already?
You said it earlier, but I don't know if you put it up or not.
What is happening with my life? Lord have mercy. All kinds of stuff going on. Now this right here. What's going on with my broadcast?
Because she's trying to get her live set up. Because she's going to be going Facebook Live. I'm YouTube Live today.
Okay, so Facebook just cut me off just like that.
They cut you off.
So again, thank everybody for tuning in. We're trying to get this show on the road, so just bear with us a couple of minutes while she gets her Facebook Live and everything together. Good morning to everybody. Good afternoon, good evening to everybody who's seeing the replay. This is going to be a good show today. This is going to be a touchy show, but yet, you know, since the 13-year-old girl was found, it's also, I have to say, a wonderful day that social media was used in a good way to do something good and do something positive. Because quite often, I think that we also get judged by some of the worst of us, by some of the worst things that people are doing on social media. But I'm glad that we were able to use social media for something good and to do something positive and to help people. So that's exactly what we did yesterday, and we actually accomplished something through all of us, through my platform, through Martin G. Johnson, through Vera Giles Norris. We did something, so I'm glad about that. And I'm glad for all of you all who were able to watch and help to pass out flyers and, you know, come out and support this family. And it's a beautiful thing, even though we got a whole lot more work to do with more people being found missing and dead in Chicago. And, you know, it doesn't seem like Chicago police is caring, or Chicago police aren't doing anything. And the mainstream media, I'm talking about here in Chicago, the channels of 257932 are not reporting these things that happen in our community. So therefore, we got to be our own news and, report our own stories and tell our own stories. And I'm glad that that's something that we are able to do as a community by using our platforms. And we use it for love and use it for positivity. So that's exactly what we are doing on yesterday, and that's exactly what we did today, or going to do today as soon as we can get this all started.
Okay, you guys.
So we're about to start.
Come right on in.
Here we go. She's waiting for people to come in.
Come right on in. I'm back.
So I'm going to turn the camera around. Coming to you live on the Cats Out Show with Vera Giles Norris. The
broadcast right now.
Need to scoot down one chair.
One chair? Okay.
70.
I need to scoot down.
Yeah, 708 223.
That's the call-in number.
8953.
Pull that down.
Okay, come on.
Let me get myself set.
Okay, 223-8953. Call in. All right.
Excuse me, I'm just trying to change chairs, so forgive me if the camera's kind of shaky, y'all.
And now that it's off again. Wait a minute.
Her live keeps on going off.
That's the mother calling in. Tell her, give me 1 second.
Come up here. Okay, just hold on a minute, okay? Oh, just hold on. Okay, let's start.
Okay, hold on. Chicago. Hold on, here I come.
I'm going to start it.
Okay, here I come. Give me a second. I'm trying to go out. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, that's the theme music to the Cats Out Show. Here we go, y'all.
All right, it's the Cats Out Show. This is Vera Giles Norris. Give me 1 second. We're going to bring you on. 1 second.
5, 4, 3.
Okay. Welcome. It's the Cats. We on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio. And we on Facebook Live many a times. And we here ready to let the cat out the bag. Meow. Let me tell you guys something. Today's show is really going to be a hot show. So I'm first of all glad you guys are in today. I want you guys to come on in, tag, share, and invite. Bring as many people as you know to tune in, because when I tell you, it's a lot of stuff going on here in the city of Chicago, but not all news is bad news. We got some good stories. We got some bad stories. But what's most importantly is that teamwork, whenever we come together as a team, we get the job done. We are literally in position now where we don't have to wait on help. We can be the help that we need. So on today, I already have a special guest on the phone with me. I have I'm going to call her my queen sister. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but I'm going to tell you something. She had a 13-year-old niece that was missing for over 2.5 weeks. She reached out, her cousin reached out to me from Atlanta and said, Vera, I need you to connect with my cousin. She needs your help. I connect with this sister, and then within 1 day with Martin G. Johnson, the crime chaser, and myself heading this operation with this amazing queen, we did some great things. Miss Banner, are you there? Can you hear me okay? Go ahead, introduce yourself.
I can hear you wonderfully. How you doing, beautiful goddess?
You know what, sister? I am blessed and highly favored, and I am jacked completely out of my mind after meeting you yesterday, and I'm humble before God with the results that we have. But go ahead and tell the people on my end who you are and tell your story, sister. They need to hear from you.
Okay. Well, my name is Tisha Banner. My niece is Yasminda Mitchell. I'm a Mitchell by birth. Banner is my married name, y'all, but I embrace it because I love my husband. But listen, y'all. So May 30th, the night of May 30th, the morning of May 31st, my niece, Linda Mitchell, came up missing. I'm sorry, I'm still emotional. I'm extremely excited, but I had been looking for her for quite a while with no help from Chicago PD, being stonewalled by DHS. I mean, my family was not getting what we needed from the city of Chicago. She wasn't important to them. My cousin, as Vera said, got in touch with her from Atlanta. That was day before yesterday evening. I got a call from Vera, y'all, yesterday morning. I kid you not. She put me on her platform, and her and Martin, the cookie trying trace is what I call them, y'all. I love them so much. They went live, and the powers that be was trying to stop it because I couldn't get on the live to save our lives, y'all. Went through that, and then Vera was like, you know what, I'm gonna call you. And she called me, y'all, and had my voice like today, like you hear today, on the live video so that I can tell my story, y'all. If people didn't show up and show out because of your platform, we met yesterday on 63rd and Diamond. Now, let me be very, 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 very clear. I don't want to downplay anybody else who showed up out there because I love y'all and I thank y'all so much for showing up. But if it had not been for Vera and the Cat South Foundation and Martin, the crime chaser, putting me on a platform to tell them about my baby being missing, then there would have been no help. The news wasn't showing up. The police wasn't helping us. DHS wasn't helping us. Nobody was. Nobody was. Vera put me on her platform and linked me in with her and Martin. Baby, when I tell you we got out there yesterday and we flooded the doggone city, and my baby is home. Well, she ain't home, but we found her last night.
Yes.
We found her last night, and it's absolutely because Vera and Martin allowed me to speak our family's truth on their platform. Now, there were definitely a lot of other organizations out there that helped us, and I appreciate y'all. But let me tell y'all about Miss Vera and Brother Martin on their platforms and allowing me to use their platforms to find my baby. I'm sorry, Vera.
Oh.
You don't understand. Like, we was looking for her for 2 weeks and we wasn't getting no help. And then one day, literally less than 24 hours of Vera put me on her platform and Brother Martin chiming in and using his platform, we got so many people out there to help us. Yes, there were other organizations out there. I don't know if it's okay for me to mention them, but there were other organizations out there that helped us. They definitely walked the streets with us. They definitely went into those abandoned buildings and knocked on doors with us. But the reason why my baby is home right now is because they felt the need to allow me a platform that was going to reach enough people to find her.
Wow. And you know what? I want to say this to you because I don't know how much of the story we want to share. But after talking to you on yesterday morning, and you really, really pouring out, and this baby has already been through a lot. You spoke that she has already lost her mother and she lost her father. And your family has taken a whole lot of blows. But you know what? Even with her being home, I want to let people know is that it's not over, because this family still needs support. That baby still needs to know that she has a city, both I should say both locally and around the globe, that supports her. And we want to get to the root of the problem and see how we can really help. And I'm going to make this announcement only because you told me, and I want to make the announcement. You have agreed to become a part of the Cats Out Foundation and help us.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that, and help us with finding missing children, and help our platform with ministering and really getting out on the street to make a difference. But I'm just going to add this story. Martin G. Johnson, the crime chaser. When I tell you this brother is extremely awesome, because this is not the first case. Within the last 72 hours, it was another baby that was missing, and she had been gone home for 2 months. Her mother had not seen her. LaDonna, if you're listening, we've not had a chance to talk with you because we've been busy since then. But LaDonna reached out and said, I need y'all help. My baby has been gone for 2 months. I haven't seen her since Mother's Day, and I cannot get no help from the police because she's 22. Nobody will help me. Martin and I got together, and the same night that we used our platform, that 22-year-old baby came home to her mother and had been gone for 2 months. Then the very next day, your cousin, all the way from Atlanta, reached out. She even said something on that platform and said, hold on, Miss Vera, I need your help also. I'm here in Atlanta, but would you please reach out to my cousin? We need your help. We have a 13-year-old that's missing.
Let me tell you something, Ms. Vera. People don't understand when me and her say this, but she may have been born my cousin, but that's my sister. we 6 months apart, and when I tell you she feels me and I feel her literally. She called me and she said, we're going to get this done. I said, girl, you in Atlanta.
She's in Atlanta, but she made a big difference because I don't know if I would have heard about this story at all. But she hit me in my inbox and she said, please help us. And I'm going to tell you guys, I have some things going on in myself with my family. But how dare us to have anything going on with our families and think that God is going to help us when we can't reach out to help other people in need. So, I'm excited that we got this baby back home. I know that we're not done. We're only just beginning. And thank you so much for at least saying thank you and at least willing to join the Cats Out Foundation. Is there anything else you would like to say to anybody on the platform?
Yes. Yes, it is. I just got off the phone with my daddy. And I'm a daddy's girl, y'all. But he said something to me that resonated so seriously. I'm not religious, but I'm very, very spiritual. He said, your favorite book of the Bible is Job, ain't it? I said, yes. He said, why? And he made me explain it to him again. Every time I get weak, he make me explain it to him. Listen, every mom, auntie, cousin, sister, brother, whatever, everybody that can hear me right now, thank you, Mr. Red, for this chance. But if you all have any way of reading the book of Job, let me tell you something. The book of Job will explain everything to you. Because at the end of the day, the devil going to come for you. He's going to send for you, and guess what? You're going to have to stand. You're going to have to stand. You're going to have to stand through it all. You're going to have to hold on because at the end of the day, the Creator will not fail you. The ancestors will not fail you. Just hold on. Just hold on and keep doing what you got to do because He's going to send somebody to help you. Just be open. Just be open to receive it and know that no matter what, the end ain't the end until you end it.
Wow, powerful. And you know what? I got to say this because when you mentioned the ancestors, yesterday morning when we were talking, and I don't know if you remember, but I told you, I said, I know it's been a long 2 weeks. You've done a lot. But I said that I know your baby will be home. We're going to get out here. She's alive. She's not dead. I also said that spiritually, I knew that we were connected. And as you asked me, we were looking at see what time it was, and you said what time it is. Either I told you what time it was, but it was 9:11. And you spoke and you said, "Oh my God, the ancestors is speaking." Now, you and I had not coordinated nothing. I had no idea what you even looked like in person. I called you to ask you what you looked like, but when I got out the car and I met you, we both had something on in common that let me knew for beyond a shadow of a doubt that we were connected. Tell people what that was that we both had on in common.
It was my blessed aunt.
Say it again.
It was my blessed aunt.
Yes, it was. And that ankh is also the logo that's affiliated with the Cats Out Foundation. So again, I am so glad that we have a happy ending, but it's not over. We still got a lot of work to do. We still got a lot of more families to help. Martin G. Johnson, when I tell you, brother, if you are listening, thank you. Thank you so much, Martin G. Johnson. I'm about to go back live and bring him on so that we can hear from him. But, and you know, again, I'm just saying where it started. This spearheaded from the Cats Out Foundation and Martin G. Johnson and everybody else that came along. When I tell you God chooses whom he uses, right. Everybody got in and did their part. But I cannot miss the opportunity to say that when God has used you and when God is using you, even though we can stand up and clap our hands, we know that all of the glory goes to the Most High God, because only God could have perfectly put us together and got the results that God got. He just chose to use us. So Martin, thank you for being chosen, and everyone else that
Cookie Crime Chaser, I love you. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Go ahead. And we're going to get Martin G. Johnson on the line.
So much, Martin. You don't even understand. Y'all, Martin's phone did not go off at any point. He was trying to get people out there to help us.
Right now, you getting ready to call in. The number is down.
He is down. So awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Martin.
All right, Miss Lady. So I'll be talking to you soon, and we got a lot of work to do, and I cannot wait to get started with you.
Let me make sure people hear my declaration on your show. I don't care what you have to do, what's going on. If you call me and say you need my help, I am there. I have never met another soul that is so indoctrinated to mine. I am there. I will help do anything. My baby home. So now it's time for us to get out in these streets and bring somebody else's baby home.
All right. Thank you, sister.
I love you. Thank you so much, sister.
All right. Talk to you later.
He said he's
all right.
All right. Bye-bye.
The line is clear, Martin.
Hello. Welcome to the Cats Out Show. This is Vera Giles Norris speaking.
Crime Chaser.
Crime Chaser, Martin G. Johnson. What's going on, brother?
Hey, that's good. I was trying to get on your live. It kept freezing up.
Yeah, you know what? It's going through one of its things. Matter of fact, as we speak, Martin, I'm on my way going back live to see if I can make this. But, Martin, go ahead and speak, brother. We definitely want to hear from you.
Well, it was Vera reached out to me and invited me onto her platform about the 13-year-old missing young lady. And so I appreciate you, Vera, for inviting me in, and I used my little expertise, and we put our platforms together, and we made this happen. And a lot of people jumped on board, but the original person that brought me in, it was Vera. And I'm going to say that. You know, I thank Vera. I thank all the other guys, the activists that came out. But we want to get the truth out. Vera and myself, we told Miss T that we would be out there at 5 o'clock. I made a post, and we did come out there. We was out there. We videoed. Matter of fact, me and Vera, we didn't even video at the same time. I said, go ahead, Vera, you video, then I video when you go off, you know. So, because we was on one accord. We weren't trying to outshine one another. This is what unity looks like. When we out there, it's not about our different platforms, it's about oneness. But at the end of the day, the Bible says you got to give honor to whom honor is due, and that's what we want to do. You know, it's by God's grace that Vera opened up her platform, I opened up my platform, and we went out there on the ground. We didn't just do a lot of talking on the line yesterday. We talked, but we got on the ground, passed out some flyers, videos, talked to people. So that's all I had to say. People, that's the truth, the gospel truth.
I know that's right. And again, Martin, we're going 2 for 2. So and you know what? And let me say this too. 2 for 2 in a few is what I'm gonna call it, because within a few hours of us helping people and bringing them on to help them find their babies, we're 2 for 2 in a few within a few hours. It happened with the young lady. That with the 22-year-old, then it turned around and happened yesterday with Miss T. And man, I am excited. And again, I want to thank every other platform that came out there. We couldn't have did it without your help, and we appreciate everybody. The next time we say that we want even more people to come. Bring your platform, bring your help, because guess what? We cannot get it from the elected officials by themselves. We can't call the police and expect for them to show up. They show up when we start showing out. So again, we didn't wait on no po-po. We didn't wait on the aldermen. We didn't wait on the mayor. We knew that it was action that needed to be taken, and we took action. So that's what I'm excited about. And Martin, the next time it's time to take action, if I don't call you, you better call me.
I sure will. But I want to say something before you let me go. I want to give a personal shout out to Jamal Green. He did show up. Jeff, he did show up. Lamont, they did show up. We thank them. But they didn't spearhead this, though. This thing was spearheaded between me and Vera, you know. So we was at the head of this thing. So I just want to let people know that, so there won't be no confusion or anything like that. So I'm going on the record with this. And we have proof. We have video and everything. So I don't want no confusion among the activists, but that's where it is, and that's how it be. And I stand behind my word. Y'all know I don't be in a lot of mess fighting with other people. I'm not in a competition with nobody. I appreciate it. I appreciate the effort. All of us coming together under one umbrella and trying to make this thing happen. And the credit don't go to no one person. But we have to go back to the people that originally started this, and that was Vera and myself, and I appreciate it. If James Hawthorne is there, I don't know. Shout out to him, man. We need you out there in the field. 300-something thousand views yesterday. I want to give a shout out to him anyway. I don't know if he's there, but peace out to you, brother. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Yeah, well, you know what? He's not here. He's with another battle today, but he's here in spirit. So again, James. Yeah, he went out and did the thing yesterday as well. But we got Monique in the building, and we got Roosevelt here that was out on yesterday. We're going to give
Roosevelt. I'm so sorry. Hey, Monique.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, Martin.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for speaking up on me on the live. You know, I was watching just a few minutes ago. What's up, Roosevelt? Even Roosevelt came out.
What's up, man?
Roosevelt got there before me. He said, Martin, I'm here. Where's everybody at? I said, I'm on my way. So, hey, it was wonderful. Hey, Vera, listen, I thank God for you. And let me say another thing, and I got to go. With the Kanika case, you was the first one that broke that case. It's on the record. It's on the record. What day was that? September the 13th?
No, that was actually September the 12th. And if we're going to let the cat out the bag, it was September the 12th. And on that live, I said, the one thing that we could do to help this family is that we can get people out here. We need people out here. We need at least 1,000 people. And we spoke that in the universe. And I called your name then. The first name I called was Martin G. Johnson. Where you at? But let me say this. The very next day, the Most High saw fit to bring over 1,000 and some people out there. And nobody was out there prior. I know the family was out there, but they didn't have the support. So again, I'm humble because I'm led by God. I'm not doing anything on my own understanding. I'm leaning to the Most High God to help me because I don't know nothing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, shout out to Earl too. Tell him I said what's up.
Yeah, he said hey. But again, hey, you letting some mean cats out the bag today. You know, went all the way back and let me bring them forward.
I went on the record. I went on the record because anybody that know my reputation, I don't be on Facebook beefing. I don't do that. But I like to get the truth. When I go to the crime scene, I'm looking for the truth. I'm not looking for I think. I want to know the truth. And anytime I speak, I want to be recognized and known as telling the truth, and I'm going to tell the truth. Now, if I'm wrong, Vera, I will apologize publicly and in private.
You know what? And I'm with you. And let me say this because a lot of people may not know. They may have just started following from Kanika Jenkins. But I was out there with baby Samaje. I was out there, with the gang bangers. Well, what was I at? I was in one area. I don't even know where I was at, but I was on the west side somewhere on Fullerton. I don't know where I was at. So I done jumped out with the gang bangers and everybody else and just doing what it is that God tells me to do because I can't operate on my own accord. So again, Martin, just like you've been the crime chaser for a minute, I've been letting the cat out the bag for a long time.
That's right. So you ain't new to this, huh?
Just true to it. That's it. That's it.
Okay, God bless y'all. I love y'all. Keep the good work up. And Vera, we don't let this stop right here. Now we got 2 on our belt. Now we need 20, 30 more of them.
Martin, we just getting started. We just see how dynamic. Matter of fact, we're gonna change our name to the Dynamic Duo, and we're gonna bring our whole team with us. We're gonna have the whole squad. We squadded up.
Yeah, that's right. And to the family, I'm glad you guys got your loved one back. And if you're listening, I love you guys. Anytime I can help, if I'm available, hey, I'm here. And I don't charge a quarter. I don't charge a dime. And I'm not asking for no money. And I'm not taking no donations for no family.
At all. If you want to give donation, give it to the family. I'm not taking donations for nobody family but mine. Now, you want to give donations to my family, then we can do that. But I'm not taking donations for nobody else. But thank you, Martin.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later. So listen, you guys, if I know there may be people right now that still got loved ones missing, or you may have, not maybe so much of a good story. Maybe your loved one came up and your story didn't end. So right now, while we're celebrating with the families who do have a good story, we ask that you not look at this one way. We do realize it's a time for everything. It's a time to laugh. It's a time to cry. It's a time to fight. It's also a time to be humble. So while we celebrated with that family just now, we do know that some people still have loved ones missing. We do know that some people, your child, you don't have that story.
So how's this going to
We
go?
still
Is
want to hear
everybody
from
going to
you.
be like, will it set days that people are going to be going out in certain areas?
One moment,
looking for these
please.
kids?
Okay, this is Granny.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Granny. Monique, what's your question again?
Is there certain days that everybody going to be going out to certain areas looking for these kids?
Well, I tell you what, Monique, and I say this all the time. My commitment is what it's always been, is I'm going to do what I can do. I encourage everyone else to do what they can do. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing God going to give you credit for, is doing what you can do and what God has led you to do. Anything else is really going to be done in vain. So I encourage people, start in your own house. If you want to go out today, go out today. If you want to go out tomorrow, go out tomorrow. What I will do is I'll be sure to put up a post and let people know when I'm going out. Granny, thank you for calling into the show today. Go ahead with your question and comment.
Good morning to the cats out the bag. Empress, Martin G. Johnson, y'all dynamite. Do you hear me? Everybody, look, I woke up and I turned on Facebook, right? And they say they found her. Lamont, that's who. And then I saw you, Empress. Oh my God! I said it ought to be on the. And I woke up and it was on the show this morning. I am so proud of y'all.
Thank you, Granny. We appreciate you. I asked about you a few times. I said, I don't see Granny. Where Granny at? So thank you. I appreciate you.
Hey, baby, don't you worry. Hey, I ain't going nowhere. I'm still with my cats out the bag, baby.
Okay.
I ain't going nowhere, and I'm on that wagon with y'all.
All right, Granny.
I'm on that wagon. You know how we do. We go out there, don't we, in them streets. Oh, listen, another thing. Catering. Bob, okay, G&B Catering. They're feeding the people under the L this Saturday at 2 p.m. Oh, come on out. I'm sure we can throw the platform out there, too.
Okay.
Y'all, right. Hey, come on out. We feeding the community, so, hey, we look to see you Saturday. It's starting at 2.
All right, Granny. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Earl, I love you, Earl. Earl the man. Monique, here's my baby for me.
He's gone.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have Empress, I love you so much, baby.
Thank you, Granny. We appreciate that. And so again, feeding the homeless, we appreciate that as well. And we're gonna go back down that road because we're gonna need people like that. That's already doing what they're doing. We're just making connections. That's it. No big eyes.
Right.
No little U's.
All right,
we're just making connections to build the kingdom. So thank you, Granny.
Yes, ma'am. Have a blessed day all.
Wow. So again, Monique, Roosevelt.
Yes, ma'am.
What's on your minds? What you got? What you feeling, Roosevelt? You had an amazing day yesterday.
Well, no, I'll break it down to you that, basically it's something. It did all start out with Martin Johnson and Vera, because the thing is, I woke up early yesterday, and, sometimes I have a habit, sometimes of getting out of bed and, scrolling like through Facebook or whatever. Then I saw the live video, at least the first one. But then, in order to get it right and everything, the live kept on cutting you off. You couldn't get Tisha on or whatever. And so, but I shared every single live video, and that's when I called you. And I said that I know you're going to probably do Facebook Live, so is Martin. But no, I have a platform too, Roosevelt Sounds Off on YouTube. So I said, I'm going to be out there at 5 o'clock with my YouTube platform. So I think, with the help of Vera and also with the help of Martin, I think that we, all three of us and everything, did something positive. I know a whole lot of people, they always talk against social media because they always want to make it look like it's so negative, because we understand there's a whole lot of negative that is going on social media. But a whole lot of us, we are using it for positive because something positive did indeed happen. We walked those blocks and helped to pass out flyers, and look, in the end, it all paid off.
Matter of fact, let me tell you guys what happened yesterday, because we went through Inglewood yesterday. Yeah. And we went through Inglewood because we were determined to find a 13-year-old girl that had been missing for 2.5 weeks. Now, our platform originally started where we just wanted to make a difference, because in case you guys don't know, or if anybody is confused about anything, Chicago has had a number of missing young ladies. Mm-hmm. All of these ladies' story has not ended with a happy ending. And there are still dead bodies missing. There are still young girls missing right now. And just because you don't hear about it on CEN or on the news station, that does not mean that it is not happening. And I need people to stop relying on the lie vision to keep you posted on what's really going on. Because sometimes your best news may be from the Cats Out show, where we literally are on the battlefield not talking about what we heard, but talking about what we know. And we out there at war looking for kids, sharing stories. But when the tell lie vision show up, a lot of times because we don't know any better, we looking at them like, oh my God, the tell lie vision is here. And we overlook the most powerful people on the platform. But I am so glad that we got people that's letting the cat out the bag and chasing the crime on a regular day to keep people informed. So that way, everybody is not asleep. Some folks are awakened to what's going on. And if you don't know, there is not just a few kids and a few dead bodies in Chicago. This has been going on. It's not new. It's just that we're starting to put it in the public's eye.
Right.
Because there are some people that have lost their loved ones, not just this year, last year and years before, and those stories ain't been told. There are still young girls missing. It's something going on bigger than us. And my question is how many people gonna get from the tell lie vision expecting for you to find out the truth and get to work and do what you can do in order to make a difference? Because when it's all said and done, you part of the problem or you part of the solution.
What I would like to know is how come it has not been any Amber Alerts for none of these kids?
Well, the problem
None at all. I haven't seen not one.
And you want to know why it has not been any Amber Alerts for those kids? It's because we ain't sound the trumpet. I had to come to that conclusion. I'm not waiting on nobody to sound no Amber Alert for me. Because guess what? If we got this big of a voice on social media, the Amber Alert need to be sound when we sound it.
Because the police aren't doing anything. And the only reason why I found out about this is only because of, like you said, your platform and you and Martin. So I was determined to get out there and bring exposure to it too. Because, I mean, it's been yesterday the news just got around to talking about some of this. I mean, but it's been like dead bodies and everything been found in Chicago and all of that and everything. They found a man in a garbage can or something the other day, and a lady on Sunday, a lady or something like last week. And we get the police chief, Eddie Johnson, if I can give a name, I don't care no more, said that, oh, there's no evidence of all these killings or a serial killer in the city of Chicago, when it's been rumored on the West Side that there possibly is a serial killer here in Chicago.
And even if he's not a serial killer, he may be a serial killer, because I'm going to tell you something. He getting up in the morning, eating breakfast, and by night, folks are coming up dead. So whether it's 1 or 101, all we know is that something needs to be done. And again, I'm going to tell you something. I'm just letting the cat out the bag because that's what I do. I am grateful to every single person that's doing what they can do to be a part of the solution. It don't make a difference.
You said it started at home. I'm going to tell you something. These kids are horrible. They're horrible. They got smart mouths and then some. So a lot of times people putting their kids out because they're giving them a hard time, or they just don't care where they're at because they probably on drugs, alcoholics, whatever. Right now, you can't do that. You can't do it no more.
Right.
So when these kids are outside, they thinking, oh, who cares? Then they don't come back, and then they still don't care because they don't care about the kids. So somebody in that family should step in and care if the parents don't care.
Well, and then even in that case, let me just say this too. Even in that case, we still have to come together as a community, because there need to be parenting, counseling. Some parents need to know that you can't smoke weed with your child on Monday and then want to discipline the child on Tuesday. Some parents need to understand that there is a thin line between parenting and trying to be your child's buddy. So we're not going to turn up. So you need to stay in a parent's role. The next thing is that it is not okay for your young child to be able to just be out and then you see them when you see them. There need to be curfews. There need to be, rules and everything set in place, because nobody want to get that phone call to say my child is missing. So again, we got to set the foundation. We got to set the rules, and we got to set it. We got to do it now. So
yesterday I had about 4 17, 18-year-old girls at my house at 11:30 at night. I asked them, what y'all doing outside? They was with my daughter. And I told them, I said, it's about time for y'all to go in the house. First thing they say, well, we not going nowhere. We just right here. But people coming up missing right here. That's what these kids don't understand. They don't think nothing can happen to them because they sitting in the same spot that they normally sit in.
And their
People are
parents
coming
didn't
up
know,
missing in the same spot. Though.
right? But their parents didn't know that they were there at your home.
But
probably
they're a
didn't say
certain
nothing.
age. They're a certain age, so they think it's okay. But no, it's not okay.
No, it's not.
It's not okay no more.
Because we couldn't
Well,
do that
it's
when we was young. No.
And I'm gonna tell you
It's
a
a whole
story.
different breed now.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, the honest God truth. I'm a mother of 5. The only time man's got a chance to spend a night outside of home is when they went to college. And even then, I was trying to call and dictate who was in their room until I realized it was difficult for me to monitor what they was doing. And I was 4 hours
They
away.
was on their way to the movies. That's what they
And
were
those
doing.
kids
That
were
time
in
out.
college before they were able to spend the night. And another thing is I don't let nobody else kids come spend the night over my house. Only kids spend the night over my house is my grandchildren. Other than that, when it's time to go to bed, come get your kids. Because your kid ain't sleeping at my house. Because I'm not going to be responsible for nothing going on with your child. And I can guarantee you, if more people understood that it is your responsibility to take care of your young ones and stop letting them go with Tom, Dick, Harry, May, Baby, and Shanae, and think that they okay, because they are not. And kids should not be able to be out 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning just because they want to be. I don't care what, not under my watch. And I run a real tight ship.
And that's when
I ain't friends with none of
And
mine.
that's when your kids get put out because everybody ain't trying to hear what their parents got. That's why I just said these kids are horrible. So it's not as easy as people think it is. That's why a lot of these kids is outside. Because like you said, you run a tight ship, so get your, up out of here.
Well,
That's how
I
they
put
end up
mines
outside.
out. I just made sure they was going to college. So they had 1 or 2 choices. Either they was going to abide by my rule, or I was going to strangle them in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And I know I wasn't scared of the po-po or nobody else. Because like I would tell them, these folks don't love you. These people not going to walk on cold for you. I'm going to do that. And that's just what worked for me in my household. I know everybody else's household is different. I'm just talking about for me and mine. I wasn't playing, and I'm still not playing to this very day with these kids. I can't afford to play with them.
I ain't never played with mans either. I kicked kids' ass. Excuse me, but they try stuff. That's just what
And
it
I got a
is.
godson
That's
or
just what
whatever,
it
so I mean, I understand. I
Right.
mean, he's 16 and he talks any kind of way that he wants to and does whatever he wants to or something. He always tells me all the time that he's glad he don't stay with me.
And you're right. And another thing is that I monitor my kids' friends. I tell them all the time, birds of a feather flock together. And you ain't going to bring any kind of bird talking about that's your friend. Now, again, I ain't bragging. My track record speak for itself. I'm a mother of 5. One of mine has a master's degree in psychology. She was a straight A student since 1st grade. The other one has her MBA. She made custom-made wigs, custom-made headboards. This kid is a genius. And she was a super honor roll since 1st grade. I have a 20-year-old that's a senior in college now with a 3.9 GPA. She's the president of a few different organizations. The chick is bad. She worked 3 jobs. She paid her own way through college and just bought her a brand new car herself. I have a 13-year-old that's right outside in that audience right now. Straight A student. And she's an artist. She could literally draw pictures and you would think, I know this kid ain't drew this picture or painted this picture. I have a 7-year-old, Imani, another straight A student. On top of that, she has her own rock business, still selling rocks. She done made over 900 rocks and have sold them around the globe. Now, let me take you here. I got grandchildren, straight A students, and they speak more than one language. One of my grandchildren came home with her report card, straight A, super honor roll student. And the only thing I can say is, boy, them apples ain't falling far from the tree. Now, it wasn't because I was a straight A student, but it was because I said, oh, my mother was a straight A student. But we set the standard and said, this is what our tree is going to look like. And we planted the seeds. So I don't care. Can't nobody tell me nothing no different. It's about mindset, and it is about what you feed your children and what you allow them to do. My children don't know anything except for when you are in preschool, the next level is to go to grammar school. From grammar school, you go to high school. From high school, you go to college. And I'm also, through the grace of God, saying, and then from college, you go on to get your master's degree and then go on to get your doctorate. And when it's all said and done, you build your own empire because you can't expect for nobody to do it for you.
But you know what? I did the same thing you talking about. My child is an honor student.
Yes,
with
she
thousands of dollars in scholarships. But guess what? She's still a kid, and I ain't there all the time. So we might see the good stuff, but we really don't even really know what's going on for real. We really just don't, because I thought I did. And I'm trust me, I'm something else when I put my foot on my kids' neck. But they still going to find that way. They still going to find that way. It don't matter sometimes what we teach them. Mm-hmm. They still going to find their way.
And you know what?
And let me just come back. They come back around though. But they just what I'm saying is, just children try stuff.
They do.
And they're all going to try you, no matter what. They're going to try you. They're going to see how far they can go. You know, like a smart remark here and there, or even a cuss word here and there. So they're going to try it and stuff just to see how far they can go. Because you give them an inch, they'll go and try to take a mile, I guess.
So I ain't too quick. I don't really say a whole lot about mine no more. Because there's some stuff she doing really, really well. But it's some stuff I don't like.
And you know
stuff
what?
I don't like, so I'm not finna sit up there. You know, sit there. So, but what I'm saying, we still got to watch these kids because we do instill things in them. And they are doing well, but still look further than that because they always try to do sneaky stuff.
Yeah, you know what? And let me say this. I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And every person has their own story as it relates to their house, their kingdom, and their situation. I made it my business to water the grass with my children. Mm-hmm. And I watered the grass because that's what I needed to see grow. And the weed, I cut the weed out. Mm-hmm. Because as a mother, I had a responsibility to not just look at the surface of things, but look beyond the surface of things. So I first of all identified what I need my children to look like, what I need my grandchildren to look like, how I need them to sound when you speak to them. And I made a conscious decision to say, I'm going to water the grass and I'm going to cut out the weed. And every time I see a weed come up, I get the whacking, baby. Because no weapon that's formed against me is going to prosper. It won't work. So I'm going to whack you. I'm going to double whack you. And at the end of the day, the devil was a lie then and the devil is a lie now. And that's what I say. Because there is none good, not one. We all fall short. But what you going to water?
And we did a whole lot of sneaky things and said things when we were kids too.
What?
But the only thing is something, I mean, back then it was a whole different generation. Because I remember
I think a lot of times what I'm saying is that a lot of these parents, they're not bad parents, they're good parents. Just because their kids get wrapped up into stuff does not mean they wasn't on their kids.
No.
That don't mean that. That was my point for saying that.
No, it don't mean that.
For saying that.
We all got different fights.
Yeah.
And everybody has a different warfare that they're fighting.
I learned not to speak so quick on mass. That's what I'm saying too, because some they just do stuff. I don't speak too quick. I just keep on praying about it and keep on going.
But our parents still kept our parents still kept us or whatever, because I know my father, even though both my parents, they're completely blind, but my father sure kept on me, because I remember something when I was like a teenager, thinking I'm grown or whatever, getting smart or whatever. And he told me, he said, well, you think you're a man, don't you? I was like, yeah, I think I'm a man. He's like, okay, I'll tell you what we gonna do. I was like, what we gonna do? He's like, you know what, boy? We're gonna fight. I was like, fight? And he's like, yeah, I'm even gonna make a deal with you too. The one who wins this fight is more than welcome to stay. It don't matter whether it's me or you. But the one who loses the fight has to pack up all of their stuff and leave, because, I'm work, I make the money and everything. I'm a man, and you think just because you're a teenager and people from the South, they always told you smelling your pee, you think you're grown.
Smelling telling yourself.
And you think you're a man or something. And one thing I know about it, two men can't live peacefully in the same house together. So, boy, what's it going to be? Are we going to clear out the living room and do this or not? I'm like, no.
No, I pass on that fight. That battle is not for me.
Because even though he's blind or whatever, I don't think I could have won.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
That's coming from Roosevelt Sr.
That's right. And you know what? And again, I'm not making no excuses.
Right.
And I'm not looking for nobody to pat me on my back or pat my mama on her back. I'm just telling you something. One of the things, I had my children when I was 16 years old and had them for my 17th birthday. But my mother always reminded me, girl, you awesome. Girl, you all that in a bag of chips. Girl, you can do anything you put your mind to. Girl, and she encouraged me. My mama this girl done had a baby when she was 7, And you know what? When if I got some out there right now, and if I called them in here and tell you and asked and told them to tell you who they were, you'll be surprised on what they will tell you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if they would even take the challenge. Ebony, Imani, come here for a second. They're gonna be like, Lord have mercy, she done called us. Y'all, I ain't making this stuff up. I'm doing it. So we gonna see what they say. They ain't dressed for the occasion, but we gonna see.
They was kind of quiet when I said hello to
Imani,
them.
come here, Ebony.
Here they are.
Hi, how you guys doing? Ebony, 13 years old. If I asked you, who are you? What was you born to do? What would you probably, Imani, if I asked you that, what would you say?
I was born to make rocks.
You was born to make rocks, Lord have mercy. You was born to make rocks? Okay, what kind of rocks you make?
Love rocks.
You make love rocks? Really? And what you do with the love rocks? You give them to people? Around the globe? To show love? Oh, wow. You do a good job. Ebony, who are you? I'm putting you on the spot. But no, tell me, what were you born for? Who are you, Ebony?
I am the best of the best.
You the best of the best? Okay. What make you think you're the best of the best? You just think that? Okay. Were you born for greatness, or are you a champion, any of that stuff?
Yes.
You are? You really are? Okay. So, again, I'm putting them on the spot because they normally will say it. But you know what I tell mine every day? I say, you know what? Have an amazing day at school. You are a champion. You are smart. You were born for greatness. No weapon that's formed against you shall prosper. You're beautiful. You're beautiful just the way you are. Everything about you is beautiful. You can do it. If you put your mind to it, anything you put your mind to, you can do it. And I have them say, now who are you? They say, I'm a champion. Who are you? I'm a champion. What were you born for? I was born for greatness. What can you do? I can do anything I put my mind to it. That's right. That's right. Who set the standards for you? I set the standards for me. How beautiful are you? I am very beautiful. How you know you beautiful? Because I know it. Who told you you beautiful? I'm telling myself I'm beautiful. Where you beautiful from? I'm beautiful from the inside out. Wow. Who's smart? I'm smart. Who's smart? I'm smart. That's what they say. Mm-hmm. And that's what I water. And I don't just water it with them. It's been watered with my grandchildren. And the proof is in the pudding. And again, I'm not bragging about them. I'm just telling my story because it worked for me.
And I've seen you do that even with other people because, yeah, I've seen a couple of your lives where you jumped out on other people. And I remember exactly where you were. You were around Laramie and Adams, I believe. And it was some gang members. I guess I don't know what they were on the corner doing, but you could probably figure that out. But you actually got out and actually spoke to them and all of that. One time you went to a funeral, I think, of a young person. It was like some gang members. You actually talked to them or something. The only thing I could say to myself when I saw that live video, I don't know if I could have the same kind of courage that she has.
I get it from my mama.
I couldn't. Me, even though I'm a man or whatever, even what they would say, at least society always says anyway, I'm physically stronger and bigger and taller or whatever. I don't think even I'd have the courage to talk to a group of gang members like you did.
And you know what? And let me say this.
Because I'm too afraid I'm gonna get shot or something.
And let me say this. The only reason why we're on this platform is because I guess this is where we ended up. But at the end of the day, we're still talking about the missing young ladies that's coming up here in Chicago dead. And I'm going to tell you something. We are all equally responsible for those deaths on our hand. It's not just the parents' problem. It's a neighbor's problem. It's the school teacher's problem. It's the best friend's problem. It's the pastor's problem. It's your problem. Because rather than us talking about and what we can't do, if we would only focus on what we could do and do that, it's a higher power that will give us credit. Again, the only reason why we got together to find that 13-year-old yesterday was because a lady from Atlanta, all the way in Atlanta, that couldn't do nothing here in Chicago but sit back and go through her inbox and ask for help, did that. And we linked up and we all came together. I want to thank everybody that came out, because it wasn't just the Cats Out Foundation. We may have started it, both myself and Martin, but there were other people that came out. We had Jamal Green came out. We had Lamont, 19 years old. That boy crazy. It's all outdoors.
Lamont Ricard.
Lamont Ricard came out and did the thing. We had Jedediah that came out. We had people that were running for office that came out. Elected officials. I even saw Nicole yesterday. I saw another girl, Red. We had a young lady. She has a women's foundation. She has a group. Is his name Stacy Love? What was her name?
I think it was Stacy
Love.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look back. That came out with her platform. We had Roosevelt. I mean, we had people from Ceasefire that came out.
Oh, don't forget New Era.
New Era. Who else am I missing? And if I ain't say the Crime Chaser about 1 million times, that was the first name I said.
Well, that's all I could think of right this particular point.
So
There's a lot of people.
And we're going to keep on doing this. We're not going to stop. But don't wait on a message from me. Be the own message that you're looking for and get out there yourself. Because that's what's going to be the key. Stop looking at what somebody else is doing and take a look in the mirror and say, what are you doing? Because if you ain't doing nothing, don't talk about somebody who is at least doing something. That's just what I believe. Again, our phone line is open. If anybody got a comment or anything they'd like to say, the phone number is 708-223-8953. Again, 708-223-8953. We need to hear from you guys. Call in 223-8953. We got over 130-some people, 120-some people watching. Don't just watch for nothing. Call in and then share the video. Share the video. We want to hear from you guys.
And Miss Vera, one thing I have to ask too is something, because some people want to know, because it was brought up yesterday when we were all together. Do you think some kind of a way, and maybe this is me letting my own cat out the bag, some kind of a way, that with since we can't get any help, seem like from the Chicago police, and it doesn't seem to be any kind of leads, and this has been going on for a while with like missing girls and everything in Chicago. Do you think some kind of a way, if
we can start our own police?
No. I wish we could, but no. I'm just saying, if you look at, if you're a conspiratorialist, sometime like I am, do you think that maybe police could be involved in these kind of things that are happening, with this kind of thing?
Don't say that about the blue people. You know what? It crossed my mind.
No, because it was brought up. It was asked of me of several people
if they could be involved in some of the things that's happening.
Right, but but sometimes you just don't want your mind to go there, because they're supposed to serve and protect, but us in the Black and Latin community, it seems like we're not served or protected.
So the question
was, anything, we're victimized.
The question is that, do we think that because we can't get help from the police, if some of this stuff is being spearheaded,
right? Are they complicit in any kind of way?
Wow. Hey, people, we want to hear from you guys. What you think? That's a dang on good question. And I'm going to tell you what I know. There is none good, not one. And all of us fall short. And when you looking, you pay attention to everybody. Pay attention to everybody. Nobody is exempt. And that's just my story. It's the Cats Out Show. This is Vera Giles Norris speaking. Go ahead with your city and state where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia in the building. Go ahead. What's your name?
Michael.
Michael, how can we help you, sir?
And the police cannot be trusted in Chicago.
Amen.
I put them as in part of all this killing going on down there. They got something to do with it too. And
Wow.
that's ridiculous.
Sounds like something I
that's
said.
ridiculous to say. But now, in the world, can nobody be trusted? Nobody be trusted at all. Even the police can't be trusted. And it's crazy because the black people ourselves cannot get help from the police. We have to go out there and do it ourselves. And that's messed up. What's the police there for? They don't need to be there then if we got to go out and search for ourselves.
Wow. Well, hey, Atlanta, thank you for listening in and tuning in to the Cats Out Show. Would you do me a favor?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you share our live on your platform and keep sharing it? And thank you for commenting.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a great one, sir. Woo, that was deep, you guys. That was deep. Got more callers calling in. It's the Cats Out Show. This is Vera Giles Norris. Please state your city and state.
Okay.
Wow, that was deep. And you know what? Hey, I don't want to pass judgment, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm a firm believer that anytime you got people in charge of anything, people are subject to do anything.
That's right.
So I'm just because you got a title, I don't honor titles. I don't care what your titles say. I look for the inner man because I done seen some real demonized, if that's a word, demonic people with titles. And I wouldn't mess with them on a good day. That's just my story. I'm sticking to it. And I done seen some folks that don't have a title. That if you call them, they don't just talk about things happening, they make things happen. That's what I know. It's the Cats Out Show. This is Vera Giles Norris speaking. Who do we have on the line? City and state you're calling from and your name.
Hi, Vera Giles. My name is Kimberly Patton. I'm calling from Canton, Mississippi.
Mississippi, M-I-S-S-I-S-S. Hey, girl.
How you doing?
I am awesome. Go ahead with your comment or your question, please.
Okay. Well, I was wanting to comment on the gentleman's question that he spoke about. Was it okay for the police to be involved? I think all hands on deck. All hands on deck need to be, involved in bring in our youth, because we need, all hands on deck. But I also feel like if you are called to, the youth, then that's something that the police department maybe needs to get into, finding out whether or not, if this is something that, that they feel like they can go into the community and do. If you're not called to do that, then of course it's going to be ineffective.
All right. Well, hey, thank you, my sister. And do me a favor. Do me a favor and share the video. We appreciate your comment. And guess what? I totally agree. All hands on deck. Thank you.
All hands on deck. Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right.
And I think she kind of misunderstood my question. It's not a question of whether the police could get involved. I'm just saying, are they involved in like what's happening that's bad before all of us get together as a community to try to find these people and do what is good? That's my, that was the whole question. Right, because we know that the police are not helping us and aren't doing anything.
One second, caller.
My point was, are the police involved in what's happening to these people? Anytime we do a shooting, I sometimes don't believe that, it's gang members or drug dealers are shooting each other. I actually really believe the police are actually doing it. And then, because haven't you ever noticed anytime you hear about a shooting on the news, they always say this, how many people were shot, but there are no suspects in custody, but yet you never hear about it ever again. And who else would know and have the means and motive and ability to cover up a crime except a police officer? We as regular people couldn't do it, but yet
Caller.
police officers always could.
Caller,
They can do
please.
whatever they want.
Woo! That was deep. Caller, please state your name and city and state you're calling from. Woo!
Hi, this is Yana Mayer. I'm calling from Toledo, Ohio. Can you hear me?
Ohio is in the building. Hey, girl,
Yes,
how you doing?
Good. I'm so proud of you guys and the work you put in yesterday. But a lot of people are asking on my platform because a lot of times we hear the stories they're found, but we never know the story behind it. So how was she found, and where was she found, and where has she been?
Well, here's the thing, and we're gonna cover that on another platform as well. But someone called with the tip, and they spotted her, and she was at somebody's house staying with them over on 68th, not far from where we were at.
Mm-hmm.
What she was doing there all that time and who exactly the person was, we don't know that as of yet. But I guarantee you, when we find out, we're going to let it be known. We do know that, you know, it wasn't all good. We know that for sure. And the police actually came and got her from the house.
Wow. So the people that had her, will they be charged with anything?
That's what I was just going to ask.
Well, we don't know that as of yet. I do not know it from my platform. But that's some of the stuff that we'll be going over today and some of the questions that we will be asking exactly who had this baby. We do know that some guys had her cell phone. Mm-hmm. And that's how we knew where she was at. We knew what area to go to because her cell phone had been tracked. And those guys that had her cell phone, they knew that the story that they told did not add up. So the only way they were able to track this girl was because of the guys that had her cell phone. And that was the area that they were in.
So she was reported missing 2 weeks ago.
She was reported missing 2 weeks ago, but she was in state's custody.
Uh-huh.
So the auntie could not do anything with because DCFS and the state has to do what they have to do, and you cannot do a missing persons report without the proper authorization. So she could not do it.
DCSF, they need to revamp their whole system. They're failing our kids constantly.
Yeah,
she could have died waiting on that, and that could have been overlooked, and they could have just been looking for her. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So we literally saw the fight, and we saw this lady going through the hassle that she went through in order to get this story out. But again, I like to let people tell their own story. Because whenever you start trying to tell somebody else's story, it can get twisted and turned. Yeah. So I'm going to let her tell her own story, but I'm going based off of the live interview. It's on my page. This is Vera Giles Norris. And from the live interviews that we did yesterday, it lets us know from her mouth what she had experienced. And then even on her page, you can see that she was looking for her child. Her, the friends, the cousins, the aunties, and everybody.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is that they found her at another adult's house. That's what I'm getting at. She was at
she was at somebody else's house. I don't know if it was an abandoned building because we went into a lot of buildings where the doors were open, but I don't know if anybody physically was supposed to live there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So there are a lot of those houses on the south side that you can just go move in whenever you get ready.
They thought they had a kid nobody cared about. They didn't want
Right, that's what I'm getting at because I'm like, if she was reported missing and she was found with adults, they should be in jail.
Well, some people may have been arrested. We don't have all that information because when the tip came in from our live, the tip came in and they called the police and then called 911 and they went to the house. Call up. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We got another call coming in. Thank you. It's the Cats Out Show. This is Vera Giles Norris speaking. Go ahead with your question or comment, please.
There's so much they're going to tell you.
There's going to be more come out about it.
You got to speak up a little bit, please, so we can hear you.
I think the police is involved because how is it all this stuff?
You think the police is involved because of all of the stuff that's happening? What city and state are you calling from? Hello?
You hear me, Chicago?
Yep, you calling from Chicago. Thank you so much for that comment. We appreciate you. Okay.
It would make sense that they were involved, especially saying she reported this child missing 2 weeks ago.
And I think
nobody did anything, and now all of a sudden she found. That stuff makes sense.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes it's just the pressure, because a lot of times I think cases go unsolved and stuff like this happen is because nobody has the foot power or the manpower to put pressure on the situation.
People just don't care no more.
And if you put pressure on it in the beginning, then I believe that things will happen. A lot of times you have to, first of all, wait 24 hours to even say that people are missing.
Yeah, but we talk about since May 30th.
Yeah.
Do you actually still believe that also, too, this could also be like a racial component? Because if it was a little, excuse me for saying so, I'm not trying to be or trying to make it like so racial or whatever. So please, everybody on YouTube or Facebook who's listening to me, don't take it like that. But if it was like a little white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, named Becky or Rebecca or whoever, who was missing in that same area, or the police would have solved that like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I just don't think that we just get enough, care by the authorities or something.
So weird to me.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't. Vera, I'm pretty sure you understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We don't get enough, but yet, they always told us from childhood all the way up until now, until one day or something, God takes us away from here, that the police is supposed to be our friend and that they're here to serve and protect all of us. But it seems like they're only here to serve and protect a certain amount of people. It's not everybody. And I just feel that it's so uneven. The justice in this country is so uneven. And even when something happens to us, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Nothing ever happens for us to help us or anything. There's nothing in place, right? That's right.
And again, I hate to be the one to have this third eye that's open, but I'm just going to tell it like I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And we proved it yesterday. I'm not waiting on police. I'm not waiting on the elected officials. We elect officials. And so we got to, first of all, come together as a unit and stop being in competition with one another and putting each other down. And first of all, realize that we are all we have.
Mm-hmm.
Because we expect for little Becky to be found.
Mm-hmm.
We don't expect to get the same type of attention in our neighborhood. I believe that it's time for us to start expecting that. And in order to start expecting that, we got to be willing to do the work in order to make that happen. So on day one, when little Keisha is missing, we done did everything we needed to do. We done covered our own grounds for little Keisha. I'm not waiting on nobody else to help me find nobody. I'm not helping nobody to help me take care of my community. I'm going to do that because it's my community. And that's the one thing that we don't do as a community that other people do. And we need to stop looking at the race card and start looking at, first of all, how are we spending our money? What are some of the things that most people, I can go knock on half of those doors. The credit scores are low because we don't take value in what our credit is. We think that if you got a 500, that's okay. It's not. We don't have insurance. We don't know nothing about having life insurance like we should on our children. Because I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm going to let this cat out the bag. If every person in the African American community took out policies on themselves and their children, the powers that be would not allow so many young children to hit that ground. They couldn't afford to pay for them when they hit it. Hold on. Caller. Thank you for calling in. Please tell us the city and state that you're calling from, please.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee is in the building. What that say?
Stop banking.
First, I get honor for God. I feel like what's wrong with Chicago is the police behind it. They got these young black men that's gang members, making sure they don't go to jail, putting them out there, snatching our little black young women, our queens, and taking them away and using them as little prostitutes, little slaves, and half of the young ladies that's missing in Chicago, all they doing is bringing them to Memphis, bringing them to Tennessee, and having them out here working, and the parents cannot find them because the police not going to allow them to find them because they working them.
And that's why we have to come together as a unit. Because guess what? What goes on in Memphis is also going on in Chicago. What's going on in Chicago is going on in Texas. What's going on in Texas is also going on in other countries. And if we learn how to say, you know what, we all we got. And it's not about race, because guess what? Other races can join with us. It's all about good and evil. It's all, the war is against love and hate. Those people who love to hate, those are the people that we in battle with. But those people that love to love, those are the people that we ready to team up with. And we can do more with love and with light than we can do with hate and darkness. And that's where we got to show up and show out. That's what...
It's just not black young ladies coming up missing. In Memphis, we have black young ladies and white young ladies coming up missing. And our police is not looking for the black young ladies or the white young kids that's coming up missing. So we out here have to do the same thing. Go out there and reach, touch this one, we get together and go look for our kids.
That's it. That's it. Hey, caller, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Be sure to share the video. You are awesome on purpose. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
What's on your mind?
I'm still trying to figure out what the heck happened.
Caller, please state your city and state where you're calling from. This is Vera Giles Norris from the Cats Out Show.
Hi, Vera. This is Zenosis Ball Moulton. I'm calling from Chicago area. I live in the North Lawndale area.
Hello there. How are you? Give us your city. Give us your comment or your question, please.
Basically, to me, it seems that the police, Chicago is a great area, and it's basically wanted. Everybody want to live in Chicago, but it seems to me that they let all this crime go on because it's predominantly black. So once this area become a Caucasian area, then that's when you're going to start getting answers. I live in the North Lawndale area, and I remember right across the street from me, I had a white neighbor, and basically something happened. They called the police. The police came right out. I called the police. It took the police X amount of time to come to where we had an issue at. So it's a difference. It is a difference, and you're right. It takes the community to make a change. And, they call North Lawndale the ghetto area. Yeah, ghetto. I always call it Gitmo because I'm not going to run from an area because crime is going on. We have to stick together and fix our own crime in our communities. That's what they do.
That's what they do. And I'm going to tell you, thank you, because you brought up an important fact. Not only is that what they do, they know how to police their block. Exactly. Each one is looking out for the next. They do little simple things. Like get cameras on their houses. They're not getting cameras on their houses just to watch their house. The cameras on the houses also watch the neighbor's house. Mm-hmm. Because I am my brother and my sister's keeper. And they know how to love their neighbors. So they're like, hey, Becky, I'm going out of town. And Becky, would you do me a favor? Watch the dog. Watch the house. And they looking out for each other. But instead, we over here, when we say we're going out of town, we literally got to sneak out of town. You can't tell everybody. Because your neighbor come crawling through your window, done stole your flat screen TV, PlayStation, and jewelry, and red bottoms too. And and don't even get me twisted, we'll steal your vibrator out the drawer if it's a big one.
Really?
Okay. So we need to do the things that they're doing. The other things that they do is they know how to place value on their children. So they're doing things like when their children are born, they already got $1 million policy. They already got college tuition paid for through life insurance. We'd rather take our kids to Toys R Us, and thank God they going out of business. But we'd rather take our kids to Toys R Us and to make sure that they got the new Jordans on, but they ain't got no life insurance. They ain't got no college savings. Nothing.
Yep.
And on top of that, they got D's in school, and we want to say, ooh, you got a D. You doing real well. That's my baby. He got a whole D. Turn up. The fuck?
Yeah. We're not.
That's exactly what they say. That's what they say. I never heard you quite put it like that before, but that's exactly what they say.
I learned that language. But that's what we do. And then we can't even go to the store. We can't even go to the store. They is crazy over here.
We just never heard you say
that. Y'all know I'm not tripping. But here's the thing. They don't used to hear me cursing like that either.
Oh, no, that's why.
But here's the other thing is that we got a whole 5 credit score. We can't, and literally a 5 is what we call good. We can't even go to the store and buy grocery on credit. Because we done had, by the time the children is 10, they done had a light bill, a phone bill, and a car note in their name. We done tarnished our credit, then they turn around and tarnish the kids' credit, and it's just a generational curse. And the only thing that's going to turn that around is for us to do the little simple things. And my platform, and I'm going to pub for myself, because if nobody ever come along to encourage you, be ready to encourage yourself. And if nobody ever come along to pub you, pub yourself. I'm showing people how to build their own credit. I'm giving out free life insurance quotes. Because I'm going to show you how to take that Big Mac and a small fry and save it for a rainy day. And save it for a rainy day in case you need to have that for your children. And if we don't place value on these children's head, the powers that be definitely ain't going to give them no value. So what would make you think I'm coming to your hood with no cameras, with no team support, no neighborhood watch group, and I'm going to find your baby that you ain't even got a $5,000 policy on? Your baby don't even mean $5,000 for you, to you. And you think I care about your baby? I'm looking for $1 million babies. I'm not looking for no $5 crackhead babies. That's what the powers that be that say. So if you don't put no value on your own baby, don't get mad at me for letting the cat out the bag and telling you the truth.
Ms. Vera.
Yes, ma'am.
I just think we do. We need to educate the community. We need more education in the community. For like when it comes to credit and certain things, people don't think about that. It's like, I'm educated because I know I work with that. I'm an underwriter. I do credit. I look at it every day. I know how to make money. I know how to invest. I know how to do all those things. And it's like, well, we need to educate our community. And then when you do try to educate certain ones, it's like, oh, she thinks she knows too much. No, I don't think I know too much. I'm just educated and I know what I'm talking about. But I don't mind sharing my knowledge.
Make sure you inbox me and tell me who you are. Inbox me. Because I'm going to tell you something. In this season, I'm not casting my pearl before swine. And I'm not going out on no platform talking about I'm trying to educate my people. I'm going to educate the people that want it. You're going to have to ask for it. You have not because you ask not. But I'm not jumping on no platform trying to save everybody. Even Harriet Tubman said, I would have freed more if only they knew they were slaves. And for the ones that didn't come with her, she cut their heads off so that they couldn't talk. So my line is that for the people that's going to be in our room and the people that's going to get the information is those people who seek the information. I'm not trying to save everybody because don't everybody want to be saved. And one thing about trying to save everybody, imagine somebody drowning, and I know I can't swim. But one of the worst things you can do is jump in the water and try and save somebody that's drowning and they in panic mode. They will drown you with them. So in this season, we got to know whose water we getting in. Make sure you inbox me so we can connect.
Definitely. Okay, most definitely I will. And thanks.
Thank you, sister. I appreciate it. All right. Where we at, y'all? Turn up.
The fuck?
Woo! The phone lines are open. These people is crazy around here. Yes, yes, we are. It's real. So again, you guys, if you guys are not already following the platform, yeah, we turning up in here. If you guys are not already following the platform, make sure you guys follow. We're really looking for just a few great people. We're really looking for a few great people, and we need you. Only helping people who want to be helped. Yes, ma'am. That's right, Rochelle. Rochelle. Awesome. 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 BFF. What's up?
And I just think that whatever you're doing in it to help people, I believe that's also a wonderful thing, because that's something that we need in, our community, is people who would be willing to give this knowledge about, how to make money and how to do life insurance, or even how to, get your credit and everything straight. And, you have that know-how or something. I believe you have the know-how.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Even though you make us laugh too, but hey.
Thank you. I appreciate the comments, you guys. Yes. So again, you guys, I can't even make this stuff up. This is the coming to the end of our show today. We thank you guys for tuning in. We thank you guys for sharing the video. If you've not yet had a chance to share the video, that's one of the most powerful things you can do today. Is go ahead and hit the share button. If you don't see the share button, log out and come back in and hit the share button. The devil trying to stop you from blessing somebody. That's what it is. But we will not be moved. Go out, hit the share button. It's the cats. We're here today. And this message, we may have found a little humor in it, but it's serious. Even as we speak, someone is passing out flyers. Another mother has gotten a phone call. Another daddy has gotten the bad news that another child may be missing, beaten, abused, or found in some garbage can. We have a responsibility to do what we can do to be a part of the solution. No longer will we wait. No longer will we point the finger. The only finger we're pointing is back at ourselves. What would I do in this season to make a difference? It starts with me. So again, you guys, it's the cats. We're on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio. And we on Facebook Live many times. And we here. We did it. We gangster with it. We just let the cat out the bag. Yeah. Who keep calling me?
Somebody who wants you. She could sing, y'all. So that's it.
Oh, I know this ain't no agent calling me.
Excuse me, y'all. Well, you just heard it. I was a guest on the Cats Out Show with Vera Giles Norris.
Credit One Bank, I will curse y'all ass out in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. How come y'all just gonna dial my phone like you paying my phone bill? Take my number off your list right now. Do not call my bank. Do not call me. I wouldn't care what bank you from. Don't apologize. Take my number off your list. Take my phone number off your list. I speak it in English. And if you don't understand, put your supervisor on the phone. Y'all done dialed my number 3 times, disrupt my show, and now I'm going to send y'all a bill. Do not call me no more.
Next time they call, be like, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing.
Fuckers just done call me. I'm like,
just keep saying that.
Who done call my number like 4 or 5 times again like that?
I don't know nothing.
Call my number like that. Talking about you from no Credit One damn bank. I ain't got no money in Credit One bank.
So yes.
It's off.
Ain't my live off?
So no. Okay. So thank you all for tuning in, and I will talk to everybody soon. Peace and blessings to all.
You got it.